let's begin. Just begin. Your feet hip width apart, making sure your knees are above your toes, your hips right above your knees, all in alignment. Standing up nice and tall, opening your palms, spreading your toes. Let's just close our eyes. Just begin by inhaling through your nose and exhaling out through your mouth. As you're standing in this mountain posture, eyes closed, inhaling, think of that elevator of a breath coming all the way up on that inhale. And then as you exhale, that elevator is going all the way down. Can you inhale from the bottom of your lungs, filling up to your rib cage and then all the way up to your chest. And then when you exhale, letting it all go the same way. Just continue that breath. Eyes closed, just really tuning into your body, feeling your toes on your yoga mat. Maybe just think about releasing all that tension as you exhale. Standing up a little bit taller, keeping a nice supple bend in your knees. Nice and soft, finding that perfect posture. Heart is open, chest is lifted. One more breath here with your eyes closed. As you exhale, rooting deeper with your feet, pressing down, opening up. And slowly open your eyes. This time, let's go ahead and add some arms. For inhale, arms come up. Now your knees are nice and soft, maybe a soft bend. As you exhale, forward fold, come on down. And just hang out right here. Notice I have a nice bend in my knees. I like to grab my elbows if that's comfortable and just add a little sway. If it's comfortable to keep your fingertips on your mat, you can. Really keep a soft bend in your knees here. Just releasing any tension. This is a good time to open and close your jaw. Maybe do some horse lips. Just nice and easy. And then on your next inhale, slowly come back to center. Let's go ahead and inhale, halfway lift, which means you have a nice flat back, your hips are back. And now exhale, forward fold again. Bringing that rib cage closer to your thighs. And now this time, slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Pressing your feet into the yoga mat. Take your time. Your head has been below your heart, stacking everything into that perfect posture. Let's inhale, arms come up. As you exhale, take those hands to like a goal pose and just do a nice mini back bend. So notice my upper back is just bending back. I'm not, not moving my hips. I'm just bending that upper back. It's like there's a beach ball and you're rolling over it. If this is uncomfortable, you can always put your hands in your imaginary back pocket. Maybe close your eyes and just take one more full deep breath here, really opening up through that collarbone. And then exhale, come back to that mountain pose. Let's add on. Inhale, arms come up. This time, as you exhale, grab that right wrist with your left hand. Now, can you press down? I'm just going to turn to face you. So you're going to press down through that right foot, and you're going to feel this stretch all in the side body. So really root down, or stretch out through here. Keep some space between your ear and your shoulder, and just breathe. It doesn't matter how deep you go, just feeling that stretch. And then on your next inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, just gently grab that left wrist now. So now we're taking to the other side. I'm pressing. Now I'm rooting down through my left foot. And I'm just feeling this whole side body stretch right here. Right, we don't want to cave in. We're keeping that perfect posture. And then come back to center, both hands as you exhale, back bend. Let's inhale, arms come up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold, knees are soft. Inhale, halfway lift, that nice flat back, push your hips back. And now exhale, walk your fingertips down, finding your first downward facing dog. Take a moment here, evenly placing your weight through your hands, and then pressing your heels down towards your yoga mat. It's okay if your heels don't touch. Can you feel that length through your spine as you gently bring your hips up towards the ceiling and your heels towards the floor, making your body into a V, upside down V. At any time you start to feel dizzy, you can just gently kind of look forward. Just take a deep breath here. Just feel this lengthening. And then exhale it out. Inhale here. Exhale here. Now inhale, come onto your toes, onto your knees, finding that tabletop. Toes to the mat. I'm a big fan of cat-cow. So let's inhale, we're gonna drop the belly, lifting through the crown of the head, and now we're gonna exhale, rounding it up. Chin to chest, feel that stretch between your shoulder blades. So inhale, I'm dropping my belly while I'm lifting my chin. And then as I exhale, I'm rounding, pulling the belly button to my spine. Use that breath, one more, inhale here. And then exhale, think of each vertebrae rounding, bringing that chin to chest. Now curling your toes, I'm gonna go back to that downward facing dog. So I'm gonna come up on my knees, press back to that downward facing dog. And now this time we're gonna look forward, walking up to a forward fold. So now we're to the front of our yoga mats. Maybe you take a little sway right here. I like to grab onto my elbows, just really releasing that lower back. Maybe bring your fingertips to the mat. Maybe you just hold still. Maybe you add a bend in your knees right here. It doesn't matter. You want to bring your rib cage closer to your thighs, not your head down. So if you need to bend your knees, that's okay. And then slowly come all the way up on your next inhale, finding that mountain posture. Let's inhale, arms come up. Exhale, grab onto that right wrist, root down through that right arm. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, grab your left wrist, rooting down through that left leg. And then inhale, come on up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, arms come up. Bending your knees. Exhale, swan dive into that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Now exhale, can you sit into a nice little chair? So I'm gonna wiggle my feet just a little bit closer, toes together. Just a nice, easy chair. Notice I'm keeping my hands at heart. If you wanna bring your hands out here, you can. But we wanna keep that chest open. Just building a little bit of warmth through our legs. Can you give me one more breath here? And now exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back, down dog. Inhale, three-legged dog. Let's take this left leg off the yoga mat. Exhale here. Inhale, bending this left leg. Let's come on through, finding a crescent high lunge. Take your time. Now you can always bring your hands to heart center. You don't need to bring your hands up here if it does not feel comfortable. You can always walk in that back leg. Yogi's choice. Both hips are forward, opening here. I'm going to bring my arms up. Inhale here. Now as you exhale, we're going to pivot on this back foot. So my back foot is the long edge of my yoga mat and my arms are forward. Warrior two. Let's add a little bit of movement. Let's inhale, arms come up. Notice I'm straightening my front leg. And now exhale, come into that warrior two. Palms are down. Inhale, palms come up, straightening that front leg. And then exhale, come on down. One more. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, sink it down. Warrior two. Shoulders away from the ears. Reaching out forward. You're looking at the top of that left hand. Opening up through the chest. Now let's inhale. We're going to pivot that back foot back. Coming up to back to that crescent high lunge. Exhale here. Now inhale, we're going to come on down. Bring that back knee with you. So toes come down. This is one of my favorite twists. Right hand comes down. Left arm just twists up. Now this is great if you have maybe like a block, a book. I should have brought a block. Right here. We want to twist through this midsection. This is such a great stretch because it's a great twist. We're opening up the heart, but we're also getting a great stretch in this leg. Can you hold for one more breath? And then exhale, release. Coming onto your right toes, take this left leg back behind you and just shake it out. Maybe you open this left hip if that feels good, squeezing that left heel towards your right glute. Maybe roll that ankle out. But can you evenly place your weight on both hands? And then come in to a down dog. Let's inhale. We're going to come to our knees, back to that tabletop. Now toes to the mat, elbows bend, and we're going to come all the way down. Now inhale, open up that chest like this cobra. I'm lifting up. And then exhale, I'm going to press it back to a nice child's pose. Inhale, come to that tabletop. Now exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, can you step it up to that forward fold? Step up to the front of your yoga mat. Exhale, plant your feet. Now inhale, halfway lift. Nice straight spine. And now exhale, come into your chair pose, hands at heart center. Breathe here. Think of it more of like a stool, right? Chest is open, we're sitting back. Weight is on our heels. If you want, you can bring your hands up here. Squeezing those inner thighs together, just building a little bit of warmth. Now let's inhale, come up to mountain. Exhale, swan dive forward, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back, down dog. Let's do all this on the right side. Inhale, right leg comes off the mat. Press that right hip down. It does not matter how high your foot comes off the mat. Now bending this right knee, step on through. Let's find our crescent high lunge. So my right foot was in between my hands, and then I'm slowly just gonna come up. Now bring your hands to heart center. Find your balance first. Again, I just walked it in. That can be easier. We want our hips forward, and we want to protect that lower back. So this is our pelvis. Notice how I just tucked it under, right? We don't want to dump. We want to keep it under. Think of like a carousel horse coming up and down. That's what crescent high lunge is. Take one more breath here. Now as you inhale, you're going to pivot on this back foot. It's going to be the long edge of your mat, and then bend this front leg, bringing those arms out. Warrior two. Now I always like to take my shoulders down, right? Because our shoulders like to hang out in our ears. Can you push them down? Now once you have your feet rooted into your mat, it's like you're pulling your mat away. Let's go ahead and inhale, straighten that leg, bringing those arms up. And then as you exhale, come into that warrior two. Inhale, using that breath. And now exhale. Looking over that top arm. One more. Inhale here. And then exhale. Holding your warrior two. Make sure you're not locking out this back leg. Reaching through. Now inhale, you're going to pivot on that back foot, finding that crescent high lunge. As you exhale, coming to the ground, dropping your left knee. Taking your left hand on the ground, on a block, and then we're going to rotate like you're pulling a piece of taffy with that right arm, rotating that rib cage to a nice, beautiful twist. Big inhale here. Exhale, bring it out. Look up towards the top of your hand. Again, this is one of my favorites. Inhale here. Exhale here. And then come on down. Go ahead and come onto those left toes. Let's take this right leg back behind us. Take your time. Open up that right hip. And then come to your downward facing dog. Inhale, come into that tabletop. Exhale, chaturanga arms all the way down. So bend those elbows to the back of the room. Inhale, open up that heart. Exhale, push it back. Give me a nice child's pose. Dropping your forehead. And let's just stay in this child's pose. Maybe wiggle back a little bit. Let's get into that side body a little bit more. Let's take this right arm over to the side and then walk your left hand with it. So I'm going to press with my left hip, but both my arms are over to the right. Maybe drop your forehead and just open up the side of that body, right? Big exhale. Big inhale. Don't hold your breath. Exhale it out. Walk those hands to center. Let's just take it to the other side. Take your right hand over now. Really press through your right hip, dropping your forehead. Feeling that stretch now in the right side of the body. Using that breath. Releasing that tension. And one more breath here. And then walk it back to center. Come back up to that tabletop. And then let's just tuck our toes and find our downward facing dog. One last time, pressing our heels into the yoga mat. Maybe looking up at our waistband this time. And now this time, keep a soft bend in your knees. Can you walk your hands back to your feet? Standing in that forward fold. And then slowly rolling it up. One vertebrae at a time, coming back to that mountain pose. Finding that perfect posture, opening your hands, feeling your knees nice and soft. Let's inhale, arms come up. As you exhale, back bend, open it up. Inhale, arms come up. As you exhale, bringing those hands to heart center. Just closing your eyes, taking a moment here. Feeling your heartbeat. Finding that breath. Let's end our practice today just like we started. Knees are nice and soft, feet are rooted into the ground, eyes are closed. Can you inhale from the bottom of that belly, the bottom of that elevator? All the way up to your rib cage, all the way up to your chest. And now slowly exhale from your chest, from your rib cage, all the way to the bottom of your belly. Let's do that again. Inhale. And then exhale. One final breath, my friends. Big, beautiful breath in, cleansing breath. And then big open mouth, exhale. Thank you so much for doing this yoga practice with me today.